I'm Donna LaMere, and I'm reading That's a Great Question I'd Love to Tell You by Elyse Myers. I am adding my own reactions in real time and commentary. Um, and we are now at the last chapter called Gratitude, which isn't really necessarily a chapter, but I think it's just kind of the end. So this will be the kind of summary and everything that I add to it afterward. And if you have made it this far, oh my God, thank you. Thank you so freaking much for caring about or using this medium to experience the book with somebody else. I really would have no idea why you chose to do this, but if you're here and you're watching this, you must have gotten something out of my personal delivery, and for that, I really appreciate it. I do want to make mention before I get to this gratitude thing. Like I said, I know Elyse Myers from TikTok, and I have seen, I think, a majority of her videos there. I actually haven't ever listened to her podcast just because I don't listen to anyone's podcast really. If I did, she would be one of my first or favorite ones probably to listen to. And so anyway, but just last night on TikTok, I was seeing like a thing came up that was talking about Elyse Myers' controversy or something over her going into the reader space of her book, and you're not supposed to do that or something. And because I've now just done all of this, I kind of feel like I need to speak to that, I guess. Even though I don't know anything about it, but like in case people are like going to be searching hashtags and there has to do with commentary on Elyse Myers' book, apparently there's a little drama around that right now, and I just want everyone to know that I have not known anything about that, as I understand it. But we have to remember too, like, autistic or neurodivergent people have totally innocent hearts on things, and look at the rules on even her like hospital corners and stuff. So people, we are happy to oblige when we know what the rules are on something, and especially if they don't seem arbitrary, right? And they can make sense to us. I mean, I don't want to like add in that every neurodivergent person is the same, but like this is just a pattern that I've seen. So it sounds like she just didn't know, and I haven't seen if she's done any not apology video. What is it when people go? Anyway, I probably should know more about it, but basically because as I've been doing this, I've been keeping all of these unlisted because I wanted to just make them all public at once so that people didn't, like, I didn't know how long it was going to take me to read this, and I didn't want, if there was somebody that was following it, to like get to a certain place and then have to kind of wait for me. So I was waiting for all of them to get out. And so now the timing of that, just in case people see it, if I haven't talked about what's going on with this, I feel like I should. So I'm addressing it by saying I don't know enough about it to say anything more, but that I am aware that something has happened with that, which then makes it even less of an idea that Elyse will probably ever see these YouTubes, since she probably is now going to be like, oh, that's the reader space and not the writer space. And so she would probably consider me being the reader space and therefore not see any of this. Not that I thought that she was going to listen to her whole book through me. Like, who? I don't know. Actually, if I wrote a book and someone would I do that? I don't know. I mean, she's got little kid, like how she wouldn't have time for that. But anyway, isn't it funny how we think like, oh yeah, somehow she's gonna know that I've done this or whatever. Like, again, I don't think anyone's even gonna read this. But anyway, that wasn't the point of this anyway. So, all right. So let's do This is the gratitude. This is entitled Gratitude. First and foremost, I am thankful for, and then in her handwriting, you, my dear reader. Aw. So I'm going to pretend right now that I am interacting with Elyse, since she's never going to see this or be in the reader space, especially because what she's just gone through. So imagining her, and I'm going to really accept that she's thanking me as a reader. So I feel that. Feels good. Thank you for picking up this book and allowing it into your life. Why am I going to cry? The fact that this book exists and that you're reading it, and considering you've gotten to the acknowledgments, even finished it. I know, I feel really proud of myself for finishing it. I have just not been a book reader in my life, you guys. I've read Charlotte's Web like 8 times or something, and that's all I would ever do book reports on because I was such a terrible reader. But now I realize I just needed to read it out loud in these ways. There's so many ways of like schooling and stuff that I just didn't know, didn't fit into the regular school systems. But yes, I did finish it, and I'm very proud of myself. Will never lose its impact on me. I hope it encourages you to write your own stories and to be brave as you do. Thank you to Cassie Jones, my amazing editor, who frequently had to answer anxious questions like, am I good enough writer to write a book? And are you absolutely sure I'm good enough writer to write a book? And when you read it, does it read like a real book? Not like a total real book, but I'll tell you, Elyse, these are the exact kind of books I want to read, and it inspires me actually to want to write a book too, because I've always felt like I had to fall into something that looked different. So now that you have a, like, what is 4th, whatever, best-selling on the charts and stuff, it makes me feel like I could actually express the way that I would want to write in a book because of your book. So thank you. Also, I'm sorry I cried when I met you and tried to explain my creative concept, but I was so excited that I couldn't get the words out, so tears came out instead. You've always handled me with as much care as you handled this book. I would cry too if I was writing a book and someone was handling. I cried yesterday when I made, like, to a woman at the place I got a blood draw because she helped me walk through. Toya was her name, Toya Maxwell. Oh gosh, I don't want to call her out in like a mean way, but she was such a beautiful woman who helped me through like getting my lab results, and she spent like way too much time making sure that I got everything. Anyway, so we should just really appreciate the people that take time with, especially us neurodivergent people that have so much trouble with that kind of stuff. Thank you to the team at William Morrow, HarperCollins, for helping me bring this book into existence. You took a chance on me and supported my creative vision from start to finish. There is so much work that goes on behind the scenes when taking a book from a hypothetical idea to a physical piece. And then there's a little piece of like little lined paper that says, "Dear you, this is a note of thanks. Please accept this until I can say thank you in person." Oh, and then all the people that are out seeing her book tour. Oh my God, I didn't even look to see when she's coming to Portland. Oh my God, I need to go to that. I bet she already has because I saw it in Seattle. I'll bet I missed her. Oh man, that sucks. I hate that. A hypothetical idea to a physical piece of art someone can hold in their hands and enjoy. From editorial to contracts and legal to managing editorial and production to design and art to marketing and publicity to sales and beyond. I hope I get to thank all of you in person one day. Until then, please accept this note of thanks as a placeholder. Linnea Tony, you are my friend first and my manager second. Thank you for believing in my ability to write long-form stories even before I did. I used to believe your gift was seeing potential in people. The longer I know you, the more I believe I was wrong. You don't just see potential in people, you help those around you believe in themselves. You help people see the greatness that lives in them. Because of that, you helped me dig up a dream I buried in fear. I wrote a book, Linnea! I really did it! J.L. Sturmer, my literary agent and truly one of the best dressers I know. Thank you for walking me through this journey and always knowing the right thing to say when I don't. I couldn't imagine going through this process without you. I can't wait for this book to live on your bookshelf so that when we have our next Zoom meeting, I see the spine peeking out among all the other incredible books you've helped bring to life. To my dear friend Harry Kaufman and YB, thank you for being the first to read this manuscript, for sticking with it before any of the hundreds of typos were removed, and for keeping me sane during the writing and editing process. Your encouragement brought my love for this book back to life when I got to the stage of the creative process, trademark, where I decided this was the worst thing I'd ever created and maybe I'm not actually a writer after all. Trying to create something when filled with self-doubt is like trying to walk through quicksand, and your encouragement was the hand that helped me back to solid ground. I'd like to thank New York City because so much of this book was written on the floor of a hotel room while I swung between hyperventilating over an impending deadline and feeling more inspired than I felt in a long time from walking around and listening to music. Books. Just all books in general. Thank you for saving my life, and finally to my family. Jonas Myers, thank you for having so much belief in me. I love you with everything. What I'm about to write, I've told you in private. Still, I will write it here so everyone else knows just how grateful I am for your relentless and unconditional support. You are an incredible stay-at-home father to our 2 boys. Everything I do is possible because you intentionally release me to dream, to run, to create, and to come home and show you something cool. I'm crying right now because Patrick and I are so fortunate enough to be able to live the art life, but the amount of support that he gives to me so that I can follow my dreams and so that I can do the coaching and the creative calls and things that I do. It's just so nice when you have an amazing partner, and I also feel so grateful, and I can feel her love, and I can feel the support that she feels, and I'm so glad that she has it, and I wish that for everybody. You help me believe I am brave, and you help me believe I'm capable of great things. When I don't believe I am either, you have enough belief for the both of us. You take every chance you can to tell me all the reasons you see me as worthy of so much belief. Over the course of our last 9 years together, Patrick and I are also 9 years together, your consistent and intent, well, it's probably 10 for them now, because whenever she wrote this. Over the course of our 9 years together, your consistent and intentional reminders have rewired my brain to a default setting of belief in myself. You truly are a courageous husband, an inspiring dad, and a healthy friend. I am forever changed because I am loved by you. And to my sons, August and Oliver, thank you for being patient with me while I had to be away from you while bringing this book to life. When you read this one day, I hope the stories in this book solidify how extraordinarily your parents love each other. No matter what happens in life, you can always be sure of that fact. We will always love each other, and we'll always love you. All these stories are what led me to you. Things that help me. French fries. It looks like a panini press, chopsticks or sushi, chips, cashews, chocolate chips, food, cheese, bread, eggs, bacon, pizza, wine, sparkling water, iced coffee, drinks, tea, coffee, more tea, surviving the writing process. I love that she thanks inanimate objects because I feel the same way, which reminds me when she's doing all of this to my Stein. So we're finishing up the hyperfixation graveyard. Hold on. I'm going to finish the water now with you. I'm feeling so accomplished. I'm finishing a book and a whole thing of water. Yes. Got tears rolling down. The Hyperfixation Graveyard. What is this about? Knitting, crochet, drawing, baking banana bread, collecting Pokemon cards, magic, web development, cross stitch, painting nails, sewing, bullet journaling, something, painting, I said that maybe, drawing, roller skating, softball, friendship bracelets, yarn hooking, chicken and zucchini. How cute. It's like, these are all of the hyperfixations she's probably had along the way. They're like, well, I started that. Didn't finish those things, but you know what she did finish? Writing a book. All right, now we've got about the author. Elyse Myers is a writer, comedian, content creator, and host of the podcast Funny 'Cause It's True, who's known to her 12 million followers as the internet's best friend, that's for sure, sharing relatable stories and comedic sketches and serving as an advocate for topics such as neurodivergence, imposter syndrome, body image, and more. Excuse me. Whether she's making people laugh with stories of disastrous dates or giving a voice to the awkward internal monologue many of us have, she has 3 simple goals behind everything she makes. To make people feel known, loved, and like they belong. She hopes that by sharing her authentic and unfiltered self with the world, others will feel comfortable doing the same. Elyse lives in the Midwest with her smoke show of a husband, 2 sons, and her pillow pet named Wallace. That's so cute. Aww. And then the last part has her desk again. I don't know if that's, what was the first part? The desk, like at the beginning of the, hold on, put this away. Was this sort of maybe the desk when she first started? And then this now is what the desk looks like now, maybe? I love that. Such great. I love her illustrations. But she's still got Lucy the Magic 8-Ball. Seeing the differences. Oh, interesting. Omaha. This is so cool. All right. So thank you all so much. I'm trying to think what else would I like to say for my own commentary here. And that would be, I've already kind of said that, like, I love that she's so known for her like quirkiness and for how her brain is and for how she like how she doesn't fit into the cookie cutter ways that things need to be done. And so she got like this permission to, everyone's going to know that if she's going to write a book, it's probably not going to be the same as other books. And so being able to infuse just so much of the little, you know, doodles and her way her mind needs to put things out and process things just gives so much permission. I love the way that she talks about things. I love how funny she is. She does just relate to you or anybody through the screen as there not being any hierarchy at all. Hierarchy. And I don't know. I just really wish I could. I see a lot of myself in her for sure. But I feel like I could be even funnier like her, even more authentic like her, even more like, but then I would, I guess, lose myself if I was more like her. Anyway, I guess that's all I have to say, but I want to also thank you again. If you actually listened to all of my stuff and got to this place, please message me and let me know and tell me what your thoughts were. What was your favorite part of the book? What was your favorite part of anything I added to the book? Was it worth having somebody do this? Should I do this again with future books and things? I don't know, but I would love to know. And I guess we're done for now. And thank you for following like my YouTube and all my stuff. Again, Jenna LaMere, peace out. I love you. Bye.